1 year, 12 months, 52 weeks, 365 days, 8,760 hours, 525,600 minutes, since the history of the Augustinian family changed forever. But perhaps the real question is different. Where were you on May 8th, 2025 at 7:23 p.m.?
On May 8th, 2025, I'll never forget where I was. I was here in Rome. I was in the General Curia, and that evening we had just taken a break from our General Council meeting.
I was here in Oxnard, California.
I was in my city in the Philippines. I was on vacation.
I was coming back from the bank, and one of my community brothers told me that white smoke had come out of the chimney and the new Pope was about to be presented. I ran to turn on the television and waited jubilantly with the rest of the world.
Our General Council was meeting during the time of the conclave. We decided to continue with our meetings, and that if we had heard that there was white smoke coming out of the chimney at the Sistine Chapel, we would suspend the meetings and go into the piazza, into St. Peter's Square.
During that time, I was doing my normal things, and though I always kept my eye on the ongoing conclave for the election of the new Pope.
And could see across the piazza to the roof of the Sistine Chapel and saw white smoke billowing from the chimney. So of course the word spread very quickly throughout the Curia, and we decided, all of us, to go over into St. Peter's Square to listen to the historic announcement of Habemus Papam. And we did that. We went over as a community, but ended up getting separated. Some of us got separated from others because of really the current of a river of people going through security to get into the piazza, and you really just had to move with the current. So I found myself in the center of the piazza, right in front of the obelisk.
Annuncio vobis gaudium magnum.
I heard the Cardinal Archdeacon come to the balcony and announce that we have a Pope, Habemus Papam. And when he announced Robertum Franciscum,
Eminentissimum, ac reverendissimum Dominum, Dominum Robertum Franciscum, Sancte Romane Ecclesiae, Cardinalem Prevost.
Like so many of the people that know Robert Prevost, it was just incredible joy that filled my heart, filled my soul. I have to be honest, all of the air left from my lungs. I let out an audible and then a cry of joy.
At first, I was a little bit surprised by the election of Father Robert Francis Prevost as Pope. I was not really expecting that on that day, an Augustinian Friar would be elected as Pope.
I felt great joy. I was proud the new Pope was a brother of our Augustinian family.
When I saw Pope Leo XIV for the very first time, my first sentiment was gratitude. At that moment, I immediately thanked God and prayed for the Pope.
What I did immediately after he turned and left the balcony was Google him to find out more about who our Pope was. And what I liked finding out is that he has already traveled the world as Father General of the Augustinian Order, and he knows almost every bishop, and especially that he loved to be a missionary priest later a missionary bishop, and for sure he will continue being a missionary pope.
When Pope Leo came to the balcony and first announced that peace to the world, that message of the risen Christ, soon after he reminded the people that he is a son of Augustine, an Augustinian. And that certainly was a moment of pride for all of the Augustinian sisters and brothers around the world.
But almost tearfully, I also promised I would pray for him, because it's hard for an Augustinian to start what could turn into a lonely life. We're used to being in a community environment, talking about almost everything that happens to us each day. And now the things Pope Leo will have to hear, find out about, see personally, and like Mary, keep many things in the silence of his heart and have only God to share these things with.
I felt very proud to be an Augustinian that day, that our brother was elected to lead us, to guide us as the Good Shepherd. After hearing that announcement and hearing Pope Leo give his first message to the city of Rome and to the world, it took a little bit of time to get back to the Curia. We are just across the street from the piazza, but there were so many people and so much security. Even coming back to the Curia was not easy. When we got back, we quickly celebrated with each other, hugging and high-fiving and really trying to send messages to family and friends. And then we literally were deluged with reporters, news reporters, journalists, wanting to be able to share this good news with the world. And so most of us, until about midnight that night, spent time doing interviews and answering questions. And it was about 12:30, 1 o'clock when we were all very tired, but we found ourselves back in our common room, a place where we like to share our lives together, special moments. And so we came together in the common room just to share our feelings, our special attention that we had that day, and to share our prayers for the newly elected pontiff.